Welcome and congratulations on taking this first step towards creating a life of power for yourself. I am Saqib Rasool, and today I'll be teaching you one of the most powerful strategies of life that will help you create better relationships, accelerate your career, and improve your overall well-being. These particular skills that you're going to learn today are extraordinarily simple, but very effective in creating a major shift in your life. Before we get started, let me give you a brief introduction about myself. For a living, I coach leaders of enterprises and have had the privilege of mentoring thousands of people towards creating a life of power. What you're going to learn here today is transformational and nothing short of a small surgery that will shift your brain wiring. So, let's get started, shall we? I want you to go ahead and pick an area or situation in your life where you're having a constant struggle. It could be a situation where you're trying everything you know to do, but not having the results that you desire. It could be an issue that keeps you up at night, causes you a great deal of grief, and stops you from living a brilliant life. It could be a career concern, a stress in your relationship, a health issue, or really anything that is specific and important to you. Now, I want you to pause for a second and choose the situation where you would like to have a transformation. Don't stress about it. Just pick something that comes to your mind right away. Okay? You got it? Very good. Now, I want you to declare to yourself that you don't know anything about this matter and declare yourself ignorant about what to do. Say to yourself, I am not an expert at dealing with this matter. I am ignorant about what is really going on here and what to do next. You might say, wait, why should I declare myself ignorant? I have been dealing with this situation for a long time. I have become an expert about this, and I am not ignorant. I'm a very powerful person. What makes you say that right away is actually a little voice in your head, your small self that wants to protect its turf. This little self pretends to be an expert in dealing with this situation and pretends that you have done all that you could do and that someone else may be responsible for the situation. This little self doesn't really want you to have the transformation about the situation. Your little self that has already rejected my earlier recommendation of declaring yourself ignorant is actually scared that if there is a transformation about the situation, it would lose control and won't know what to do. We do want this little self to lose control. The little self has been running in circles and has become an expert at running in circles. Our interest is to stop this little self from keep chasing its tail. This might be difficult to grasp at first, but I promise you, if you stay in this conversation with me, you will have a real breakthrough in this situation that you're dealing with. I know that it almost feels counterintuitive to declare yourself ignorant about the situation, but self-declared ignorance is one of the most powerful moves one can make. Self-declaration of ignorance is like instant enlightenment. As soon as you make the move, many new possibilities, insights, helps, mentors, and resources show up in your life. A new kind of unsettlement will take place within you, and desire to learn will explode suddenly. If this desire to learn about the domain that you're dealing with does not take roots in you, then you have not really declared yourself ignorant or have not taken your declaration seriously. When you declare to yourself, I admit to myself honestly and fully that the situation I am in is not satisfying. And when you declare to yourself that I haven't a clue about what to do in this situation, the powerlessness ends and a new future begins. These declarations are like openings and doors to whole new worlds. When you declare to yourself, this situation is not acceptable and I don't know what to do, you become a self-declared ignorant and a new beginner. Now, as a new beginner, you have the possibility of assessing and seeking help that you really need from all manners of public and private sources. You now have the possibility to take a mentor and commit yourself to learn something new about the situation that you're dealing with. You no longer have to pretend that everything is okay or continue to act with certainty while keep making messes. With this move, you are no longer the proverbial bull in a china shop. As a bull in a china shop, you make messes with strong will and good intentions. A bull in a china shop leaves massive devastation in their wake. Till one day you say, I don't know what I'm doing and I'm open to help from others. That day is your new birthday. As long as you keep telling yourself, I know, you keep running the same circuit, same loop, same drama, and living the same life. You may even change characters, places, and partners, but the pattern of powerlessness plays itself out repeatedly. Today, we are interrupting this pattern together. As you begin to declare yourself ignorant, your little self may get a little restless. It may want to reassert itself right away. The little self thinketh it has a job to do. The little self is comfortable with the job of running around that it's doing, and by declaring ignorance, the little self may have to take a back seat. It may be that your little self does not want to deal with some situation. It may refuse to declare itself ignorant about the situation at hand, and to keep you occupied and distracted, it may even pick a less important issue to deal with. The little self does not want to confront the difficult roadblocks of life. The little self is scared and it wants you to play small and hide out. But you must not be afraid. You must confront what is now right in front of you and has been causing you lack of power and dignity. The little self may even say to you, oh, I know everything about the situation and I have tried everything there is to try and nothing new is possible. Perhaps knowing what you know, you don't see anything could change in this situation. But our interest is to confront this resignation. You can almost see that you don't think anything new or different is going to happen here. Even though you are most concerned and maybe even taking certain actions, you also experience some hopelessness along with some powerlessness in this situation. In such a situation, someone or something or some event has done something to you, and that is how it is, and you have been injured, damaged, blocked, insulted, or ruined due to someone, something, or some event. You are doing your best, but the future does not look good. The little voice in your head that keeps you running in circles is ultimately a self-saboteur. It is time to dismantle this self-saboteur by teaching yourself this master move and declaring yourself ignorant and becoming a new beginner. You'll notice as soon as you declare yourself ignorant about some situation that you gain power over that situation and you can build the mood of a new beginner. This is a kind of a mood that would allow you to look for help and look for new insights and new skills that you have never considered before. Becoming a new beginner is in itself a brand new master move. This is the second master move that I'm going to teach you today. So, let us investigate what is the mood of a new beginner. A new beginner is someone who is completely awed at encountering something new about which he or she does not know anything about. Knowing that one knows nothing, a new beginner is able to encounter something new from the place of being an open learner. To learn something new, you must take on the mood of a new beginner. The mood of a new beginner is a state of full responsibility and no resistance. This mood is most conducive to receiving the maximum benefits that life has to offer. Being a new beginner gives you a total competitive advantage in the game of life. When you declare yourself a new beginner, you say to yourself, I know nothing about this situation, about this domain, which I'm about to encounter. I am arriving here for the first time, and everything seems difficult and unfamiliar. But I am committed to listening and taking the recommendations of my mentors. What does a new beginner look like in form? A philosopher I studied with, Dr. Fernando Flores, proposes that new beginner looks something like this in form. You sit up straight at the edge of your chair with your eyes half open, slightly in daze, your mouth slightly open with a piece of drool coming down from the corner of your mouth, with hands uncollapsed, resting gently on your knees. Kind of like a meditative state. It is a state of someone who has just been struck by awe, has no opinion of what is being disclosed, and ready to absorb it all. This is the way to put your body in the mood of a new beginner, along with your mind. Let me demonstrate this for you. This is what the new beginner looks like. To whatever extent you can put yourself in this mood, it would be beneficial to you. Maybe you can skip the drool. By putting myself in such a state as a matter of practice, I can learn a great deal in the shortest amount of time. I am not necessarily smarter or faster than most people, but by taking on the mood of a new beginner, for example, I learned to speak practical Spanish in less than 3 months with no more than 1 or 2 hours a day of practice. Being a new beginner means putting your automatic assessment making machine, the critical mind, the analytical mind, on pause, on hold. Let us try this mood and see how far this takes us into learning something new about power, shall we? Taking on the mood of a new beginner and declaring yourself ignorant are 2 master moves that are foundational in creating a prosperous life. They will help you realize your own full potential and transform your life.